Alright, we're getting ready to do a little milling for Keith. I'm over here on his Wells index, and I've got my dividing head here, and we've got to put 50 divisions on this little hand knob. And I'll grab the camera so you can see it. This is a little knob handle that he machined, and we've got to put 50 lines on it. And I'm getting ready to do that. This is my little Kemp Smith dividing head that I brought so that we could get this done for him. We got a little bit of a change of plans. I had the knob chucked up, and we can't get close enough to the chuck and be able to cut the groove, so that we're going to go ahead and pin it to the shaft and use the shaft to hold the wheel in the index head. So we're just setting up now to drill and pin it together. Okay, we're high. I think we said this is reversed. I hope it takes to run it this fast. I'm going to run it more. I'll tell you what. Let's go a couple more dowels. There we go. Okay. Now what we got to do is every 5 lines is going to be all the way across. It says so the ones in between is going to be a halfway. So my next one, I'm going to have to go halfway and hit a 0 on X up here. Alright, so let me index this thing around one time. Alright, you want to hold the light for me? Yeah. Now the thing is, how does it look?
Well, it doesn't look too bad. I mean, it's got a burr sticking up on it, but I think once you...
It needs to be a tiny bit deeper.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that how far apart those lines are going to be?
Yeah.
So you only got, what, 50 lines around the thing or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, they can still be a little deeper. Anything that ain't overlapping or anything that's going on.
Let's try it again. Now that was just a little bit. I can go more. I just want to see.
Well, that's definitely better looking.
Yeah, that looks better right there.
You go 2.5 more?
I don't know. get them too deep, then they get
Let me
too
go
wide.
back. Let me go back to the first one and cut it.
Or you want to catch it on the next round. And then you
I'm
get
gonna-
there. Push the draw.
Okay.
Thanks, man.
Of course, if you wait till you get all the way around, it may be off.
All right. Let's take a closer look now and see.
Once you knock the chips out, that's pretty good right there, I think.
What do you think? You like that?
Yeah.
I think you ought to be deeper.
It wouldn't hurt to be a little bit deeper.
All right, let's go 2.5 more then. That'll take us 5 total. From where we were. I think that's looking pretty good there.
Yeah. Looks like a little fur off the dribble too.
Yeah. All right. So we'll go ahead. Go back to our second one.
The lock.
Yep. Get ahead of myself.
Okay, so this is a half one here.
Yeah. All right. It's 2.
Yeah.
I think that's all right. Come on.
They don't go about using one of those little fine pointed burrs.
That's 2, 3.
Yeah.
Fan's helping out a lot, man. I appreciate that. All right, that was 4. Now we're on a full line.
Yep.
That's the thing about a divide head, man. You got to keep up with what you're doing here.
Yeah.
Well, if you cut a short one for a long one, just don't cut a long one for a short one.
What's that?
I said it's alright if you cut a short one for a long one, just don't cut a long one for a short one.
We're going to try not to. Try to make it look uniform for Keith here.
Go back and run through that short one. You can't erase that long one.
Well,
Well, I like how they use that little blade. I was trying to see what.
Okay, I'm getting down to my last few divisions. I
Yep.
believe I've got 3 more lines to go.
Right.
Right here is the start. So, yeah, it's recording. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. Good. Alright, let's take it back up. Let's take it back up to the starting point. Alright. That's our starting point, so I think it worked out.
Yep.
Okay. I think that looks good. I think Keith will like that.
Yeah. Like I say, we put that other one on the bottom.
Yeah. I had one mess up. One of the long line, I did 2 long lines together because I wasn't paying attention, but I think it'll still work. All right.
That's the index mark.
I was trying to give you a better shot. Here's the wheel, the handle, I mean, that I just machined the divisions on for them. And like I pointed out, I did have one mess up right there. You see I've got the 2 long lines together. I counted ahead, and when I was on my 4th shorty, I went all the way across when I should have went halfway. But I think it turned out pretty good.
That looks great.
Thank you. That's it. Alright, we're about to call it a day, and I was going to give you a shot of what the guys have gotten done so far, and it's looking really good. Everything's coming together great. They're doing the reassembly now, and it looks like tomorrow we'll probably have it all back together. Everything's fitting up good, doing a good job. So we'll give you an update later. All right, we got another piece to make. This nut right here is a 1-inch 8 left-hand thread. It's pretty wore out, so Keith wanted to replace it. So we found a piece of hex stock, cut it off, and we're going to machine that into a new nut. Okay, got her set up. I'm using a couple dial indicators. I don't have a sample to check this with, so I want to make sure I cut it the right depth. I'm just using a mag base to make sure I come back to the right zero. I've also got another indicator set up because I know how deep that I need to cut the threads. So this is going to tell me the depth that I'm going, and hopefully we'll cut her and make her fit right the first time. There we go. Check my pitch real quick. That's good. I think we're ready to roll. I'm cutting an 8 pitch, so I'm just lining up on any number on the thread chasing dial here. Little spring calipers, and I touched the edges of them there on the grinder just to kind of remove a little bit because I wanted to get in here and measure the root of the thread. Okay. I'm getting about 1 inch 10 thousandths, so we may be there. I'll probably make one little spring pass and then take her out, check it. No, just hold it and show. Okay, here's
how do you see what you're looking at?
You can't.
Okay.
You can't.
That's fine. I'll just hold it.
That's the thing about the GoPro. It's just you point and that's it.
All right, there you go. I'm good.
All right, here's the arbor and the threads that I'm machining the nut for here. This is the 1 inch 8 left hand. And let's see if we can get her on there and it start. There we go. Awesome. It fits. It fits. Okay, we just got to now we just got to chuck her back up and clean the other side up, bring it to the right thickness, which is about 9/16. Okay. They'll pick you you apart if
I
they see
know,
you do
and
something wrong,
it's like,
man.
yeah, and
That's
I'm
the
like,
safety Nazis, boy.
I know.
They eat you up.
it's like, okay, if you're uncomfortable doing that, don't do it.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
What do you point the lead for?
I'm gonna make a hammer.
We'll make a little lead hammer real quick. You have to get the pot just about full to make it right.
Just almost completely full.
Okay.
First one I made, I didn't quite have it full enough. I had to go back and melt it again. Alright, tilt it back towards me.
Oh yeah, they got a little wheat pole there at the top also.
Yep.
That looks a whole lot easier with 2 people. You had your hands full.
Yeah, I could see him getting tired of holding that thing.
Well, this one we got propped up. That's a lot easier there.
We need
Yeah, it's still a little.
Yeah, see me forward just a little bit more in there.
There we go.
bust to the pork.
Sure. I'll let you keep the extras there if you want it. Alright, we're just gonna.
Yep. You hit it pretty hard, you know. There you go. Turned over and hit it again.
There we go. One
Turned out
lead.
real nice.
Yeah, it looks good.
Oh, look at that. You got it? No.
Yeah, one little spot right there had a little air in it, but that looks good, man.
That's right there at that 4-hole.
Yeah. There we go. One more lead hammer. Special made for Booth Machine Shop. All right.
Well, whenever it gets beat up, mail it back to me and I'll report it.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, Lane and I, Lexi, getting ready to roll, and wanted to show you what's still going on here. All the guys are still working on it, getting ready to wire it up. He's working on the motor now. They're getting ready to bolt that down to the motor plate, and they're going to lace up a belt. Everything's turned out great. Looks good. Here is the top for the saw here. We got some paint on it, and that'll probably be one of the last things to go on.
They do the size. The wire size is what determines the color. Give me one of the other round.
It'll fit a 1/4-inch bolt.
Show you the tag there that they made for it.
I'll just put it right under the bolt. In the compartment. Right here.
There's the original
How about
tag
that?
they restored.
Couple light fixtures back over about noon. Which means we'll probably be rolling about 1.
All right, guys, that's about it for me. Y'all want to say bye? I had a great time. All right, we're signing off. See you later.
Well, no, if there isn't any, it's pretty tough to find it. I mean, and I don't mean to be cavalier. I have a lot of folks who call me from the East Coast, particularly up around here, Connecticut and New York. And I think every now and then, like Comedy Central or MTV or something, there's like a few things here, like Dr. Cancer. Years ago, and I know Billy West did the first couple of seasons of Doug. He was the voice of Doug. But there just isn't that much of it now. There is some in Toronto, but the problem with that is that it's tougher to go up there to work than it is for them to come here to work, I think. There are so many Canadian content laws with respect to actors because they give producers such a break tax-wise and money-wise that they have to fulfill all these Canadian content laws vis-a-vis the actors. So it's pretty tough to go up to Toronto and say, hey, I want to be in cartoons. You should get a reverse green card, right? So the one thing I would suggest is that the one thing you can do here, though, forever, is act. The one thing you can do here is go to workshops and improv workshops and off-Broadway shows and act. And I do plays, and good friend Charlie Schlatter, a buddy of mine, who does a show called Kick Buttowski. And he's just a lovely guy. He's also a very accomplished live-action actor. But Charlie has a great theater group in LA, and he's been nice enough to call me to do a play and go out and work out with the kids involved. I have a great time doing theater. This is a great experience for me because all this actually gets my chops sharpened too, because it reinforces that what I do is interesting to people and is entertaining to people. Because the fact is, I'm trying stuff on you guys, and when I hear you laugh, I go, oh, that was cool. They did that. It's a little stand-up. So, luckily, the drink minimum is not super extraordinary. So I honest to God, it's like I was saying earlier, acting is acting. And I tell people all the time, if they're calling me from St. Louis or from Chicago, I say, you got Second City there. And you don't have to be in the A show. They have all levels of, and the ability to be this confident, and I'm not trying to be arrogant, but the ability to be this confident in front of a group is really helpful when you're going to read for something, because the pressure's on. Because all of a sudden you're going, wow, like Course, I really need this job. And for many, many reasons. I have to tell you, interestingly, as a my brain does this all the time, and that's why I love doing these things. As a side note, with respect to cold reading and auditioning, I went through a phase in my life where when I really nailed a couple of commercials right out the bat, and I told Jessica, oh my God, what's the big deal? This is cool. Well, then all of a sudden it cooled off. And I got to a place where I started worrying too much about the money. In other words, I was not, the passion that I had that got me started as a performer in the first place, the Jones that you know what I'm talking about, that thing you're going, oh my God, if I could, I feel like Ratso Rizzo, if I could time my, it's a drug. I just love to perform. And the thing that got me to that point was all of a sudden taking a back seat to, I need this money, because if I make this money, and I get a job on this pile, and the pile goes, and I can make it 25 grand a week to start, and I can stop this, and I can buy my first Porsche. And all of that got in the way of what the organic reason was that I became an actor in the first place. And I'm telling you, as soon as I was able to put the cart behind the horse and focus and say, okay, God, Buddha, Allah, or Cheryl. Tress McNeil always says, well, God, you can thank God, and Tress says, don't bring her into this. So whomever you pray to, you say, look, right now, I need to focus. I had a fight with my boyfriend, my car's broken, it's 108 degrees outside, and I'm wearing a suit. They don't care. All they care is about you're the next guy coming in, they really want you to be good. But when I was worrying too much about the back end of it, that is, what happens if I get the job, I was not focusing on giving them my best 5 minutes so that they could see, God damn it, this guy's really good. He's maybe not the right coloring, maybe too short. Boy, he was sharp. What's his name? Paulsen. Let's bring this kid back. And that stuff started to happen. And I promise you, I started getting more work when I focused on the process. I'm a big golfer. I know that if I do what's necessary here and I make a nice, smooth pass of the ball will end up where I need it to end up. And I promise you, it's the same thing with life. If I focus on my passion and what got me there in the first place, and say, I want these people to see how good I am, and then I walk out the doors of Paramount, and instead of going, oh, God, wait, can I, oh, I got it, I know what I'm supposed to do, but I got it. It's pretty tough to get back in all the time, unless you happen to be called that. So when I was able, and you're never able to do 100% of the time, but when you're by and large able to walk into that room going, if they gave me 100 shots at it, I couldn't give them anything better. Then you know, if they don't hire you, it's not because you didn't do the best you could do. And that really is all you can ask of yourself. And again, some people are never going to end up being in show business, even if they want to be. But like my brother's a great example. He was very successful getting road shows, like a dancer singer. And he finally got to the point, he goes, you know what? I'm starting to lose the passion for this, so that's not cool. I'm going to quit. So now he works for a big insurance concern on Wall Street. He loves his work. He's passionate about it. And that really is, irrespective of what you do, that's what it's about. So when I started worrying more about the money, I started losing what was cool about doing this gig in the first place. And so I learned my lesson. Luckily, I learned it a long time ago, but I still give the same juice to an audition I do now. I respect the process. And you're not always able to knock it out of the park, but you at least have to acknowledge that you have to be as present as possible. And a great way to get to that point is to get as much experience as you can. Even if it's not voice work, it's still acting. And I promise you, it put me in such good stead when I was doing, made the choice to pretty much stay in voice work. Because I knew I could not only do character work, I was a good actor. And I was working at becoming a better actor. And I could sing in character. That's another great thing for you to think about. Are you a singer?
No.
Well,
Maybe I could.
but that's the thing. And that's a great. But a lot of people get a job and then they'll say, well, I can't sing. Now, if they truly, if the producers want somebody to sing really well, they'll hire me or Jess or somebody else to come in. And we've done that too. But what's interesting is often you will sell yourself short, but the character that you're portraying is all of a sudden supposed to be a bad singer. I mean, when I do Carl Weezer, they don't want me to sing well. They really don't. Like I do, we did a spinoff called Planet Sheen, where Carl plays this alien. It's Carl, but he's got 4 eyes instead of 2, right? It was Doppy, short for doppelganger, right? But all of a sudden they wanted me to sing, so I was making up lyrics, and they had a couple of tunes. They would have lyrics, and I was making them up. But there was one where they said, I love to sing. My favorite song is the folding and hanging song, because my favorite thing in the world is to fold and hang my clothes. The guy's not going to worry about ever buying a comic. So, but instead he's going, folding and hanging and folding and hanging and folding and hanging. even close to a semblance of a note there. And there are only 8 of them. How hard can it be, right? So, but the point is that it didn't matter. It was perfect for the character. So, because you're not an accomplished singer, doesn't always mean that the bad singing doesn't fit with the character that you're doing. So that's another thing that you sort of have to leave your mind open to those possibilities. So now I get hired sometimes to sing badly. And they'll say, you know, Aubrey, you had to come in because what you did was great, but it was polished. And I said, geez, okay, well, I can flatten an F or sharpen A, whatever you need. That's fine. Then it becomes part of the acting job, you know? So my suggestion would be, as long as you're here, to do as much as you can to sharpen your acting chops. You can work on your voice stuff anytime you want. There are probably other folks in town. I don't really know who the teachers are in town. There are people like myself, other folks who do private things online or on phone or on Skype. But I would do as many things as I could to sharpen your acting things. And if you are a singer, if you like to sing, maybe you can take some voice lessons there too, because often, you probably understand this, Ariana, often, you know, somebody who's an accomplished singer, you open up different, it's really musical anyway. It's all kind of musical. I mean, Piggy can be all over the place, and it doesn't take very long. La da 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 da, it makes you put a hand to your face and laugh, but I can't tell you excited that makes me.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. You know, it's so wonderful. Just look at the colour of her face. It's the colour of, isn't that sweet? It's the colour of my name. I love you for you. Your teeth are beautiful. I'm the pie, mine. See, but look what an effect that had. Isn't that sweet? And it was just, but it's all very musical. It's all very sort of natural and organic. So just work on your acting chops and work on anything that will make you more confident. You know, when you do go out there and take advantage of New York, for God's sake. It's not like you're living in, you know, Flint. This is New frickin' York. You know? Yes, sir.
So, knowing everything about the history and having been to, I don't know if you're going to voice over in certain times tonight.
No, I'm going tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, events like that, if you were back in our shoes, how would you work through?
Work that room. Good idea. Well, you got a bunch of hundreds on you. That's a good bunch of Benjamins. Rob Paulsen. Paulsen. No, well, you know, that's actually a really great question. I hadn't thought about that, and I'll find out tonight. Most of the folks there will probably be familiar with something that I've done. I don't know that they'll know me per se. But I would, have you got, like, any cards with your...
Cards, yeah.
Totally. Then I would probably take your cards. I don't know if I'd take your demo. Is your demo available online?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Then I would just take your cards. Yeah.
But the reason I ask that is because I know that I feel it's like it's almost like the game. Agents aren't aware maybe that.
Yeah, right. Right. Well, I mean, you're right. I think what you have to do is, I mean, certainly it's not like they have something that glowing that says I'm an agent. Danger! Danger! Danger, Will Robinson. No, you're right. So I guess what you have to do is kind of trust your gut and go on. I mean, I know they're going to do shit on people. So in terms of how do you, I honestly don't know how to answer your question. I think, I mean, you're a nice looking guy, you're personable, you're smart. And I would just basically go in and start asking questions. You know, hi, I'm such a, usually people will say, if you say, hi, I'm Rob Paulsen, I'm a voice actor, and oh, well, you know, my name's Eric, I'm an agent, and, you know. Sometimes they won't, but you can ask other people. I mean, do you know anybody else that's going? Okay, well, you know, you're from LA, okay. Well, then, I would, that's right, see? These people are going, you know all these people. So, and do you know a number of the folks that are going to? Okay, see, Lisa, she's not only looks like $1 zillion. She's sweet. What's the whole freaking thing?
Actually, one of my friends that are coming is actually a producer, so I'll introduce
Ah, how about that? But, what a great business. Well, here, let me still get it. See, that's my point, is you don't be afraid to ask.
I can help. I'm from Utah, man.
It's like that kid that wrote me from, you know, Buffalo. Dude, I don't know. A long way to the city. Yeah. So yeah, don't be afraid to ask. And obviously, that was a good point. Is I forgot that a number of these people are going. So, you know, mingle with these folks when we're done, and look them up there and at least give them a couple of pops. Easy. Christ's sake. Just gave you $100. Absolutely, please, ask away.
I remember you mentioned one of the agencies earlier in the seminar. I was wondering if you mentioned any others. The reason I asked is because eventually I'm going to be going out to California.
Yeah, and what I can say for all of you is there are so many agencies. I mean, I'm with a company called Sutton Bartholomew Bernard, which is SBV Incorporated. Sandy Schnarr, which I think is, what is hers? ABO. Sandy Schnarr is my former sister-in-law. Yeah, they're great. What's that? Yeah. Voice bank. You get a hold of Lisa Biggs, she'll set you up. Have you come to her house, fix your cookies. Oh, I'm not supposed to say that.
Oh, it's okay.
Isn't that great?
It's okay. I don't think it's good, but
And then, what's it called? Voxy Ladies? VOXY. Voxy Ladies. Is it .com? How precious is that? Voxy Ladies. So the point is that there's all this information, whether it's Voice Bank or Voxy Ladies or whatever. You can also go to, I'm not sure if you can go to the SAG website unless you're a member. Can you? Okay. Sorry? Yeah, you can go to all these websites. What's the one in Canada with the sweet little girl, Cal? Voices.com. Yeah. Yeah, there are all sorts of, and they'll give you the list of franchise agents that are, and also I believe that when you go, and you are in LA, you go to AFTRA or SAG, I don't think you have to be a member to get a list of franchise agents. Right, you go to the office when you get to LA, and you can get a list of and you might be able to do it online, I'm not sure, because I've been a member of the unions for 30 years, but you can get a list of the franchise agents to whom you're going to want to send demos to and all that stuff. And by and large, as Lisa knows, if you want to do what I do, there is lots of anime and non-union work and all of that stuff too. I don't really know that much about it because I don't do any of that. I understand, and I'm not here to bang the union gavel. It's just something that I can't do ethically because I don't feel like I can go to a union meeting and answer questions after having done non-union work. It's not ethical. So I'm very lucky to have been a member of the unions for 30-odd years. So I only do union work. Having said that, Disney, Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, Warner Brothers, Universal, and all the people that you enjoy and admire are all union actors. So you probably want to get that squared away. However, there are many non-union jobs that a lot of people are able to do also from their homes. Now, Lisa's found it, and she's able to do some character stuff too. But a lot of folks can do announcery things or books on tape or whatever. So in terms of the agent thing, you can get a list of those franchise agents. But all the voiceover things, and you guys can hook up more later about those opportunities online. So, you have a question?
The other two are family related.
No problem. Please.
Okay, the one voice that you do that's still visible in mind is the ninja, Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes.
Oh, wow, my kid, the same thing.
Yeah, it's just, well, considering that I hear this voice all the time and then I hear that, which is, I mean, how do you prepare for that? It's really, what was your...
I floss. No, you're talking about the one that sounds like this.
Yeah.
Well, I whisper. I did another show years ago called Biker Mice from Mom. In which I played a character called Throttle. It was like, Clint Eastwood, my wife. My wife's, kind of jaded vis-a-vis my work because she's heard it forever. So she had this just, is that you? Yeah. She's like, that's, how much do you like that? Enough to ask you to take out the gun. So, oh, I know. And my kid, it's funny you say that because my kid, he's been around Turtles and Animaniacs. We were talking earlier about my kid's birthday parties. I'll talk to you about that in a minute. But he's known all these actors for years. So it's crazy. I came home from work one day and he was still in high school, first year of college or something, and he said, "You didn't tell me you did Metal Gear, whatever."
Metal Gear Solid
Twin Snakes. He said, I said, I don't even know what you're talking about. No, I know about the Metal Gear franchise, but he said, you play this ninja snake thing, and you got killed in it and all this stuff. And he said, that was awesome. I said, thanks, buddy. He goes, I didn't know that you could do that. And I said, well, all the Turtles, Animaniacs, blah, 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 the tick, and nothing. Oh, yeah, that's great. It's twins. Crazy good. And again, it was just, I mean, it was this kind of mystery thing, but it was a real intensity. And I remember focusing on that, you know, just the real kind of silly anger nature of the thing. And because of the techniques that they used to record, I didn't have to be loud. That's one of the really cool things about this is that, you know, if you start doing it like this, it just sounds like a guy who's drunk yelling at you. Sound like Tom Waits. But if you do it like this, and the mic is right here, and then the effect is enhanced by the visuals, then all of a sudden also the pauses that you take, the way that you and your senses takes on a different way. You know what I mean? Yeah. I guess that's me. And it's not this. It's not over the top. It's this. And all of a sudden, people dig it. People, wow, it's really cool. But you see what I'm saying is how it really is all about acting choices. It's not about being big all the time. But thank you, because that for me, for a guy that does a lot of this, and for a guy who's kind of effusive, a brilliant kind of guy, it's really cool that people say, "Wow, yeah, you did."
It just blew my mind. It's like, I wonder if somebody that can finally die in front of me.
Go ahead, put it into my misery. And I remember even in the Wacko's Wish movie, there were a couple of times where Yak was crying because God is dying. Oh, and I remember we did one of my favorite Pinky and Brain episodes is this Christmas special.
Oh, right. The brain goes.
Isn't that the sweetest thing?
He reads the note.
Yeah, but Brain, he got it. Stop it, Pinky. Go ahead. And then when Brain reads that note, his little eyes well up with tears. But there's something about it. If you can find in that great big bag of yours, it's the sweetest thing in the world. And even the character that's going all over the place like this. Hi, honey, you made it. Are you okay?
Yeah, it's just crazy.
Well, come on in and sit down and have some vodka water. That's Rachel, bless your heart. Thanks for coming, sweetie. But yeah, so the point is that even in the context of a character that was pretty much, I would have talked like this, right? La la la.
It's just one of the things where I reference it to go like, you want to know why your voice acted that?
Oh, thank you.
You're hearing after one, and then you hear this. It's just like you see
Thank
that
you,
same
buddy.
person.
That's very sweet. And I have to tell you, that's what we strive for. Because I had Jimmy Cummings on my podcast a while back. And one of the coolest things about Jim Cummings is Jim is Tigger and Winnie the Pooh, right? Yeah. And he's also the Tasmanian Devil. And Jim is not only able to create his own stuff, but Jim's one of those rare actors that can come in on the franchise, you know, like Winnie the Pooh. And I mean, he nails it. And so when you got a franchise character like that, and you go, blah, 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 you know, that's the coolest thing. Your compliment are the things that we strive for, because I love it. What we do is so chameleon-esque. And when people say, I didn't know that Yakko was the Mass, Arthur was Mighty Max. That's such a great thing, and thank you very much. Now, you have one more question?
Yeah. Speaking of Mighty Max,
Yeah.
I just need to know one thing. What happened at the end of the series?
Oh, God. I don't know. I remember.
DVD.
I know, he did it. My kid loved that
It's a
shit.
really good bootleg of it at Dragon Con.
Is it?
Where it's like $80, but the quality is perfect.
Really?
And like, you know, the guy made it look really professional
Yeah.
and everything, and I haven't bought it yet, but I will.
Please do, because I'd like to know what happened too. I mean, that was a great show for those of you who don't know. It was Mighty Max, was done in the mid-90s. Yeah, it was really cool. Great cast. It was Tony J,
Richard
rest
Mall.
his soul, Richard Mall, and Tim Curry.
Tim Curry. The guy for film voices and
For a
all
while,
that.
yeah. I worked with Tim, I don't know, 100 times. And, what an incredible gift.
How could you capture that?
Oh, he's so lovely and just, he's so theatrical in the most perfect way, you know, and everything is, hello, my dog, oh dear. You know, and I'm a hockey player, and I still love that shit, you know. He is just a joy. But Tony J, who unfortunately passed away, was, what a voice. Oh, God, what a voice. And so I was writing Richard Mall, the big guy from Nightboard, right? And here's a guy, another good example. He basically used his deep voice voice, but he's a solid actor. I mean, the thing he did as Bull on Night Court was only a little bit of what he's capable of. And what was so much fun about working with Richard was how he would ultimately, you know, we start to warm up to each other, and you get to know folks after working for a couple of months on something. He'd come up and start saying, you know, I'm thinking about doing this right there, what should I do, and all that. Wow, this is really crazy. But it just shows that none of these guys are afraid to try to improve themselves or try to get better, or try to, you know, always work. I mean, a guy like Kelsey Grammer has all the money he'll ever need, but he's doing Boss because it's a cool show. He's great on it. You know, and I love that these guys are looking for new ways to do stuff. I mean, you get to a point where obviously you do stuff because it's fun and you can. It's like Bill Murray doing The Razor's Edge because he's Bill Murray. but I love that people never stop doing that. And I used to love the fact that Richard Mall or oh God, what's his name? I can't remember. The fellow that we did on Biker Mice from Mars, he played Lindbergh, the bad guy. Great Irish actor. I remember his name later, but he called me up and he said, "Rob Darling, yeah, Rob Darling, I'm going in to read something, and I need to." No, it wasn't Peter O'Toole. I wish, but it. Morgan Shepherd. Great character actor. Very nice guy. And he called me up because he said he's very accomplished, probably 70. He said, "Robbie, I need your help. I'm trying to construct a dialect. I'm going to read analog, because it's from Sweden, originally it speaks Swedish, and I need to know a little help here." And it was really great because it not only makes me feel good, but you see these guys, they never stop trying to learn. Rarely. And they're all good, they're journeyman actors like me. They're not movie stars. They're just people who love to work. And let's face it, if I don't act, I don't eat. But still, the passion is still there. You never stop trying to get better. But I wish I knew. I would love to do another version of that. It was great fun.